Today I'm gonna do the half and half, not season 3. I believe this is finale. Now I think it's episode 25, but I had kind of fell off watching like the last 3 episodes, reviewing the last 3 episodes, and it's only because like um I be busy when it comes on Tuesdays. Then I be doing Bad Girls Club reviews, so it be all kind of crazy. And I didn't know if you guys wanted them late because this is the only show that my reviews don't be high. So I was like, okay, I didn't know if you guys wanted it like that. But then I got hit up today to do it. So here you go. Um, Candace had her and Jeffrey at the house chilling or whatever. And they're like basically talking like, why did she leave the hospital? Why she didn't go into the hospital room to go see her son when the social worker told her she could see her. And I felt some kind of ways too about Candace, but once that girl said Quincy name, Candace was all kind of shook. But she explained how she was really scared and she really don't know. Candace really don't know how to be a mom. But I was like, boo boo, that was the fucked up way about going about it, especially when you want your son. You trying to show them that you want him, then didn't even give no explanation of why you was leaving the hospital. Um, so then they was talking about do Quincy know what she is, and she don't think Quincy know what she is. She's happy Jeffrey there, so he won't go to the apartment or whatever. But he was like, Melissa is there, and he tells her how Veronica gave Melissa the apartment and all that kind of stuff. Then they talk. Then as they were talking or whatever about the situation, a knock was on the door. So they both scared as hell to go get the door because they thinking it's Quincy. But no, it's Benny and Hannah because Hannah want to confront her and thinking she burnt down the house. So Hannah walks in like, "Did you burn down my house?" She like, "What are you talking about?" And it bothers me when people walk in just going off instead of asking a fucking question. But okay, she trying to just throw this all off on Candace or whatever. Benny, he just looked like he need to be on a little short bus with a helmet, licking the fucking window sometime. He seems so slow to me. Just look like he just needs special care and attention. But because it's easy, it bothers me. I know Candace be lying to him, but it be so easy for him to go against Candace and just believe every little fucking thing that his mama say. And I just be like, damn, you are dog the fuck out of Candace real quick over without getting the facts. You know what I'm saying? Well, and then I'd be like, okay, well maybe yeah, you know her past, but I'm like, she has not showed you nothing but good lately besides what your mama told you about the job. So anyway, he just rubbed me the wrong way. Benny just act like a kid to me. So they're talking or whatever, and like I said, she's accusing her about that, and she had to go get the deeds from upstairs to show them like I did buy you guys this house. And so Hannah's questioning like, where did you get the money from? And she was like, I came into some money. But Hannah wants to know exactly where she got the money from. And I can get that because you don't want to be getting caught up in no bullshit. So I can get that. But then and again, bitch like me, poor and broke, I'll be like, bitch, I ain't asking no motherfucking questions. You showed me a deed, it's paid for. Peace out. Get out my house. I'm just saying. But I do kind of get it because I would question if my kids was into wrongdoings. I would question it. But boo boo, you ain't got no house right now. You can't be questioning too damn much. And I don't know, whatever. So Hannah was telling her. I mean, Candace was telling Hannah how she gave her that car and all this kind of stuff, and Hannah didn't believe her. But I'm like, Benny, why are you not jumping in saying, yeah, she did give you the car. That story, is true. She did buy you the car or whatever. But she was acting like she didn't believe it and talking about, you lie, tell the truth. I'm sorry, mom and it's a point in my life I don't have to prove nothing to no motherfucking body. You either accept it or you fucking don't. But me proving it to you when you already don't fucking like me and you trying to take my son, bitch, I don't have to prove nothing. And that's how I was looking at Candace like, Candace, you ain't gotta prove nothing to her. Tell her to get out. Fuck it. Um. So anyway, Quincy leaves out. I mean, Benny leaves out with his mama because he's a fucking mama's boy or whatever. And Candace is just sitting there like fucking whatever. But as they leaving, I think it was when they was leaving. Yeah, when they was leaving, you could see Quincy watching the house or whatever. So, when they were arguing about the houses or whatever, she told them about how she got the $7.5 million. She just wouldn't tell them where the 7.5 million came from, and she tried to show them her bank account, and when she did, it was zero balance. So now she like, oh fuck, Oscar. I put my account. It clicked that she put her information in his computer and he took all her fucking money. I told y'all that motherfucker wasn't no good. I kept on saying how this was gonna play out, and it played out exactly how we all had been saying about Oscar. We wanted him to be a good dude, but Tyler Perry didn't even get a girl a good motherfucking dude. But we kind of saw this kind of happening. So that's why Benny ended up leaving her once he saw it had zero balance. But I'm like, motherfucker, your house still paid for? What's the problem? So anyway, she calls Oscar about her money, going the fuck off, telling him, and he, playing it all, talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on my way. And he was just trying to, really making us still think that he was on her side, that he didn't take this money from her. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's still good. No, motherfucking bastard. But then we got Benny and Hannah. He's trying to take her in the house. She mad, crying. She don't want to go in the house. She don't want to be in the house. She feel like this is a badass house. And I'm sitting there like, bitch, I'd rather be in that motherfucker like a squatter than be homeless. I'm just saying. You go stay there until y'all figure out what the fuck is going on. But why go be homeless? I don't get that part. Whatever. Um, what else happened? I'm trying to look at my notes. Veronica. Oh, Benny ended up calling Veronica for legal advice about the house, and she was like, meet me at the tow yard, because he was trying to get her to come to the house, and she was like, meet me at the tow yard. So then she goes into David's office to tell him to run for governor. He looking at her like, what the fuck? Like, did you forget all the shit that you done to me? But she like, this ain't about our personal life, boo boo. You need to do what you got to do to run for governor. And she was talking about how Maggie had came to the house. And I didn't review this last week or whatever, but I'm telling y'all, when Maggie gave it to her and she broke down once Maggie left that motherfucker, I was so here for it, because I felt like she needed to be broke down the size of the way she treat Maggie. I was so here for her Maggie breaking Veronica down last week or whatever, but she goes in there and tell David that he gotta fucking run, whatever. Oscar goes to Candace's house, and he first, like I said, he was trying to make us seem like he was still on her side, like, I didn't do it. Just give me my 450,000 back. I'll give you 50,000 if that's what you need, because that's the only thing that was in your account. And she was like, motherfucker, it was way more than that. And he was like, how much was it? And she was like 4 point something million, and he was like, you must be tired. She slapped the shit out of him. And I would have did more than that. You motherfucking disrespectful bastard. And that's when they start arguing. And he admitted that he did take the money. Talking about it was like, can't you take it from the baby? And right before she opened the door, she had grabbed a knife out the drawer. So when he was talking shit, she was about to stick him. Boo boo, you never go over. You just stick. You never go over. I don't know what you've been watching, Candace, but that ain't how you was supposed to do it. That's why he got the upper hand on your ass. So they over there fighting over the fucking knife. Quincy comes in and socks Oscar. Candace tried to run. He grabs her. So that gave Oscar enough time to fucking run out. I'm sitting there like, why you didn't grab him again and just said, ain't nobody leaving this motherfucker? But his main focus was on Candace, and he started beating the shit out of Candace. And I'm just sitting there like, we really gotta watch this domestic violence on TV like this. Like, I wanted to jump in and help her, like, but okay, we know he said he was gonna fuck her up when he got out of jail, so it wasn't no surprise. But okay, that happened. Then Hannah gets a call. She goes to her old house sitting on the porch, and she gets a call from the social worker saying that she got approved to come get temporary custody of the little boy, come and get him. So she was like, okay, cool. So then Jeffrey goes, him and Wyatt, they goes to the tow yard, and as they was, trying to figure out how they was gonna do this or whatever, they see that Veronica rose up, and they like, okay, what the fuck is she doing here? You know what I'm saying? And as she going in, they go into the back, and they looking at the car. Then they look through the window, and they see Veronica getting it on with Benny. Oh, because she goes in there and she talks to Benny, and he asked her about the legal paperwork, and she say, all you gotta do is check with the courts, but everything kind of looked in order. And she was like, you didn't have to get me down here. We can't be doing this. Woo woo woo. And they end up fucking. And while they was fucking, Jeffrey and Wyatt was looking through the window. Wyatt was taking pictures and videos, and I was cracking the fuck up because I don't know, it was just funny to me. But then, cause Wyatt trying to get this car back so he can use it the evidence for his parents, because homegirl told him that if he testify against his parents, he would get immunity. So I thought that was really cool. Then he went to her and asked her for immunity for her and him and Jeffrey, and I thought that was really cool of him to make sure Jeffrey was straight too, because that was Jeffrey's car. And she said yes, so I thought that was real cool. Um, but like I said, they taking pictures. I'm laughing. I'm ready for that hoe to get busted. Whatever. Oscar go get the money back to David and tell him, only the expenses was taken out of it. So he got kind of like a little bit over 4 million back. Yeah, he got the 4 million back because all that shit that he was doing for Candace kind of came out of that 7 point some million dollars. I was like, you motherfucker. Then we find out his name is Brandon. I said, you look like a Brandon, you stinky bastard. So then he leaves, and Maggie comes in and makes sure he's going to run for governor. He said he don't know. He got to go talk to Jim. He ended up going to talk to Jim. Let me get that out the way. He ended up going to talk to Jim and giving the money back to Jim. And Jim just looking at him like, okay, motherfucker, and now what? Like, he gave him such a silent treatment that I would have been like, mm-mm. Give me this paper back. Let me make sure this confirmation don't go motherfucking through until you act right. I'm just saying. But okay. So, anyway, Hannah takes little Quincy to a motel room and talking about this for the night. I had a problem with this because why was it such okay for Hannah to take him to a hotel room, motel, whatever, Holiday Inn? I don't care. But it wasn't okay for his mama to take him to a motel room when they said, well, we stay in a motel, because she didn't stay in a motel. She stayed in a hotel with room service and all that. Hannah looked like she stayed in a motel in the motherfucking hood that you had to leave the lights on and be looking out every time you turn around, make sure it wasn't cracking off for the little boy. I'm just saying that's what that motel looked like compared to what Candace was looking. So I didn't understand how they just gave her this place unless they was thinking, oh, she was taking him to the house because they ain't heard about the fire. But then again, I'm like, okay, Hannah, you making that look bad for yourself where you taking him to the room and you ain't told them about your real living situations. Maybe she gonna go back to the house. I don't know, but boo-boo. I thought that was all kind of wrong that his mama wasn't able to live like that, but it was okay for the grandmama to live like that. So Jim has to do this little speech or whatever saying he wasn't running for governor. But as he's talking, they noticed that wasn't a goddamn speech that Maggie prepared for him. And he was going in a whole different direction. He thanked his wife. He thanked his kids. He thanked, he said how he was in love with Celine when him and his wife was going through some problems, but he want to know his wife. He want to get to know his kids, and I mean, just making a sad, sorry ass speech, acting like just pleading to the public, saying he want their forgiveness, he want to be governor, all this, and he wants to run for governor. So everybody looking like, motherfucker, that wasn't the goddamn plan. Veronica boiling right about now, but they, after he left off his speech or whatever, Veronica was saying David was telling Maggie how they're still gonna run, They just gonna split the ticket and he's still gonna fucking run. So they, chilling or whatever, coming up off the stage on this little high thing, and the DA ended up coming and arrested him. Well, why Jim was doing all his speech or whatever about lying and shit, all while he was talking about he for the people and all that. While this is going on, he's having everybody that he put the hit out on killed, except Veronica. Everybody else was fucking getting killed. The guard, the rapist dude, the teacher, all of that. So I'm like, this motherfucker. I was just like, ooh, this motherfucker. But anyway, so they all get arrested because Veronica was like, because she came and was like, all of you are under arrest. Veronica was like, you don't have nothing. She was like, yeah, I do. I have both of your sons and they're willing to testify against you, and I have the fucking car. Boop, shut up, ho. And so they get arrested, and then the last scene is Quincy still fucking up Candace. Jeffrey runs in and try to help her. He knocks him back, then hit Candace again. Then Jeffrey, because they tried to stab him, and then Jeffrey grabs the knife and end up stabbing Quincy up and killing him. And that's kind of how it ended, but it was good. That finale was really good because it kind of closed everything up besides the Melissa story. But hell, she got to be pregnant for a minute because this motherfucking shit be like a week, 2 weeks, and it'd be a whole goddamn season. But Melissa got to be pregnant for a while, so we gonna see next season of them running against each other, of Wyatt testifying against them, of Jeffrey probably having to deal with, or them having to clean up Quincy's murder. We gotta see Candace fighting her mama for custody of the little boy. We're gonna see how they still stay in the house, all that kind of stuff. We gotta see how all of that work next season. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about it. We can have a discussion or whatever about it. But I did think this was a good season. And like I said, I just kind of fell off because I was kind of busy at the times that it was coming on. But next season, I will be in for the long haul or whatever. Make sure you follow me on all social media sites by the Ghetto View, THA, not THE. I'm your girl, Miss Nika. And please, you guys, support my t-shirts that I'm putting out. It's all about support. And, yeah, you can get it on teespring.com, and I will leave the link in the description box. But please support, like I said, because like I said, it's all about support. That's what it starts with. So, help us out. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, make sure you check out Ashley Miller, Lady Nika, Some More Love TV, Mike B. They all do half and a half knots reviews. The Flawless Hustle. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I'm not sure who all else do half and a half knots. But if you leave it in my comment section, I don't mind. If you do a review and you do the half and a half knots, leave it in the comment section. I don't mind. Just don't leave another review in the comment section for this show. If it's Love and Hip Hop, leave it in the Love and Hip Hop comment section on them videos. Just don't put other videos if you get what I'm saying. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.